Hello, everybody. We're back again with Sports Take. The Sunny Fireside Sports Take is your joyous sports occasion that we come every 2 weeks, Friday, talking about sports. And we got a whole lot to talk about. And we have our guest with us, Brother Osby Mitchell. We thank you for joining us, brother. And
Thank
we're
you for
going to go
having me.
right into the sports. Tonight, we have a boxing match that is Jake Paul trying to step up against a true heavyweight in Anthony Joshua. We going now if Joshua loses, he can't show his face again. We know that. Brother Mitchell, what you think about this? Is it a charade or what?
Well, I've watched Jake Paul for a while, and I've really never seen him box any legitimate people. He boxed Tyson, but that was kind of a show. That was a money grab right there. So
Exactly.
I figure that this fight right here is going to test his mettle. So if he pulls out of this fight with a draw or a win, then I know something's not right. Something's not right. Yeah, something a little tricky going on.
So we just had Brother Artie Mitchell join us. We thank you, brother. Just drop right in with us. We are talking about the fight that is about to happen tonight and whether it is going to be legitimate, whether it's going to be a charade, what's going to happen. Now, from my perspective, Jake Paul has fought some people and has showed that he's just not a YouTuber. If you get out there jiving with him, he'll knock you out. He has shown that. So we'll see what he does against a legitimate heavyweight. Now, I saw Anthony Joshua against, I forgot what the Hispanic fighter's name is, who beat him twice. Do you remember that, Phil?
Yeah, I know exactly who you're talking about. He's a short guy. I can't think his name
Short
right
guy,
now.
doesn't look like a boxer, but that
Ruiz.
yes,
Andrew
Anthony
Ruiz, yeah.
Ruiz,
Yeah.
Right.
and Ruiz took him to task. So we'll see what's going to happen, but it should be a show. Now, if he earns his medal in this fight, then he has carte blanche to move on and to see what he can do across the board. So we'll see what's going to happen with that. But boxing is an interesting thing, and it's a spectacle, and we'll see. Next thing I want to talk about is the Celebration Bowl that just happened. Brother Artie Mitchell, did you get a chance to check that out?
I don't think Artie's sound is on.
Yeah.
Okay, his sound is not on yet. All right, well, we welcome him when he can come in. Mr.
Yeah, I
President
see
Jeff,
him on there, but I don't see his. I see him.
what do you think
my
about
opinion.
what happened with the Celebration Bowl?
Okay, Celebration Bowl. Let me just back up just a minute about Jake Paul and Joshua and give you my opinion on that. I didn't get a chance to chime in on that. I really believe you have to understand a lot of this is politics. A lot of this is the fact that Jake Paul is a made man, in my opinion. I think they're still in the process of making him, and I think there is a chance that he could be Joshua if the politics plays a big role in it. Now, if it's just all skills and everything, I don't think he has a chance. But you got to realize there's a lot behind. There's a lot more behind this than just skill and boxing. You got to realize there's a lot of politics going on. And so I just think that if it's a legitimate
did you
fight,
hear Anthony Joshua's comment? And basically he said that Jake Paul really reached out to him personally, and he said, "Hey, well, if that's what you want to do, let's go for it." And he said he's not going to give him any quarter. He's going to, test his mettle. So I believe it's going to be a legit fight. And after this show is over with, we should be able to watch it. So we'll see what's happening.
Yeah.
Jake Paul knows how to sell a fight. I give him that. He's a YouTube guy. He knows how to sell a fight, and that's what his stilo is. Now, I do know that he got knockout power, and if you're not careful, he can knock you out. I understand that. But if Joshua takes this fight seriously, and he really take it seriously as is as he would any other fight, legitimate fight, there is no way Jake Paul should beat him. There is no way. But I understand on any given night, anybody can be beaten on any given night.
Understood. Brother
Now,
Artie Mitchell, do you want to comment on that?
I mean, nowadays you just got to ask yourself, when have we actually seen legitimate fights? I'm talking about fights up and up like you used to do back in the day with Ali and Frazier and those guys. Nowadays, man, you just don't know. With all this money out there, you just don't know how the fight may turn out. Jake Paul is a big YouTuber. He's watched by millions, and he talks a lot. He talks a good game, and he can sell a fight. So there's money out there to be made by both fighters. I mean, any of us would go out there and we just dance around for a round or two, we millionaires. So that's all about the money now. So I don't know. You guys may be right, but it's just hard to trust in these fights nowadays.
Exactly.
Yeah, Carl, be careful. We got two Mitchells tonight now, Artie and Osmond.
Yeah, I got you.
Make sure you identify them now.
Brother Artie, did you want to chime in on any of that?
Well, I would say, you do got to be careful with, the commercialism for us. They selling it. It's big money, and you just never know. Everything is about the money, and it could be setting it up to this person win this time, the next person win to set it up for a bigger fight. That's kind of my take on it.
Understood. I still say in the last big fights that have happened, in my opinion, they have been legit. Fury against Wilder was legit. That was 3 tough fights. They were legit. When they fought against the current heavyweight champion, Alexander Usyk, all his fights were legit. If you go in there jiving with him, he's gonna knock you out. Until I see something now, Tyson against Jake Paul, that was a charade.
Yeah, that was a show.
That was just for money. And Tyson was a 60-year-old man. He just glad he didn't have a heart attack out there at the time. So, but we'll see what's going to happen with this. I give Jake Paul, some semblance of chance and credibility, but we'll see. So let me go back to the Celebration Bowl. First of all, it was a great game. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, it was Prairie View against South Carolina State, the MEAC champion against the Southwest Athletic Conference champion. And it was a great occasion, looked like. And I wish I had got a chance to go there to Atlanta to the game. Jeff, do you want to talk about what the prospects of that growing into to become?
Well, basically, I was very proud of the way Prairie View represented. They did an outstanding job. I was, of course, quite naturally, I was kind of disappointed in the ending, the way it ended, and very crestfallen. I'm telling you, it took me about an hour, to kind of get over it. I was hitting a punching bag. I went out there and shot some basketball. I did everything I had to release a lot of anxiety, but that was a heck of a game. Prairie View put up a good fight. It went into 4 overtimes, and they lost the game on a missed call by the official. Everybody can see that was not a score. That was not a score.
That close though.
No, I agree, but
they should have had a little bit better.
That was not a score.
Defense to stop that guy Joshua Smith. I mean, that one guy was just tearing them up.
But that was not a score, Cole. I looked at that play 8, 9, 10 times. That was not a score. That was not a score. No, you can't be out of bounds, and that was not a score. I think the officials just got tired of playing overtime games, and I think they were ready to go home. And it's like, hey, man, let's go. Let's get out of here. But PV played a good game. I was very proud of Cameron Peters. He threw the ball 36 times, completed 24 passes on 412 yards, 4 TDs and no interceptions. So he did an outstanding job. He's 6'4", 407-pounder. Excuse me?
I think he's going to get drafted.
Right. I thought he did an outstanding job. And then PV had right at 500 yards of offense. So they clearly outgained South Carolina. South Carolina had just a little about 350 yards of offense. PB had over 500 yards of offense. So PB did enough to win the game, but sometimes it don't always go your way. But I still think that this game set up Prairie View for the future moving forward. I think that they have the people in place as far as the coaching staff in place, the recruiting class coming in, and I think PV will be good for the next several years. So I'm very satisfied with the way they
What about the
represent.
prospect of how the Celebration Bowl itself is going to do? I think it's a very good prospect that is going to become a very profitable bowl with the MEAC against the SWAC, and it got a lot of potential viewers. It got 2.3 million viewers on that. Brother Osby, what you said?
Well, I think about this. The MEAC conference has been winning this for the last, I don't know how many years now. So when you get in a game like this, Prairie View's never been there. They had a 21-0 lead at the halftime. It's an old adage they always say: you got to kill a mosquito with a sledgehammer. You just can't go in there and come out in the second half, and you have to have that same intensity or more, because when you get in a game like that, you can't be close. When it's close like that and you have to go into overtime, you run into things like that. That guy clearly was out of bounds. The ball was out of bounds. His hand was the only thing that came across that pylon. Definitely, like Jeff said, they were just ready to go home at that point. So you can't let one play like that beat you. If they'd have kept the intensity up and kept that score up, it wouldn't have gotten to that point. So I think going ahead to the future, I think they'll be back.
Yeah, it looks like good potential all the way across. Of course, the history of the SWAC with Grambling, Southern, Jackson State, Alcorn against the MEAC, Howard, South Carolina State, Hampton. Who else is in the MEAC, guys? Those are the main teams, though. Across the board,
North Carolina came to the SWAC, like Florida A&M. A couple of those teams left, and Bethune-Cookman, they left the MEAC to come to the SWAC. So they have a smaller conference now.
Yeah.
But it has some great potential. And in this age of, bowl games and TV, it's a very good thing for the HBCUs. So we'll see how that's going to grow. And talking about football.
It's the national championship for Black colleges. That's what it is.
Say again, sir?
It's the national championship for Black colleges, basically what it is. Those two.
Very much, it is the national championship for Black colleges. And I would like to take this point to talk about the national championship of moving. And we want to talk about A-Rocket moving right now, if possible.
Well, guys, you all know a little bit about A-Rocket being Natural Houstonians. It's a second-generation moving and storage company founded in 1959 by Mr. Herbert and Arlene Sam. Second-generation owner now is DeAndre Sam. They are a proud sponsor of this talk show that we're having here tonight. DeAndre runs the company now, and we can relocate your office, your home, your business, whatever it is you may have. We have a 62,000 square foot warehouse to give you climate control, storage. We store your items in vaults, and you can call us at any time, 713-748-6024, located at 3401 Peerless. Quarter actually off of Peerless in the 3rd Ward area. So A-Rocket Moving and Storage, let it be your next opportunity to move. Give us a call and we'll be there for you, as our slogan is, A-Rocket, making the customer number one.
Well, thank you very much. And as I was sharing, the NFL is hitting the high point, and we're going to find out what is on who's going to be in the championship and in the Super Bowl very soon coming up. But we know Kansas City is not going to be there. Brother R.T. Mitchell, what you say about Kansas City not being there?
Well, it says that the competition, has, made the adjustments finally to KC to slow them down. And I think that's a good thing. for the whole, NFL.
Yeah,
I'm no,
I agree with you. It got to, it got to go around, spin around, and look like maybe the Texans are a part of those that are taking advantage of the situation with the number one defense and a offense that is really starting to gin themselves up and become a juggernaut themselves. They won 40-20 over the Cardinals this past week. It could have been a little bit more, but they did good. So let's talk about who's going to be in the AFC Championship. We just want to deal with those two teams. I want to say, because I'm gonna go like this. Well, we know I think Houston's going to be there. Jacksonville's going to make it. I think Pittsburgh is going to make it over Baltimore. Of course, New England and Buffalo, and then Denver and the Chargers. But in the championship, I got Houston. I'm going to say against Denver. Houston against Denver for the Western Conference Championship. Now, in the Eastern Conference, I'm going to say Seattle against Philadelphia. So let's throw it out there. Phil, what you say, Western Conference and then the National Conference.
Well,
NFC, AFC, Phil.
Well, I mean, it's still having solidified positions in the playoffs,
Right,
and I think that's
right.
important where you
Yeah.
play, not so much who you play. Sometimes there's some teams that are loaded that can make it for road games, and there's some others who need to be at home to win. So you play one less game. That bye is going to be crucial too. So as you saw last night, Seattle was probably underestimated. It came back and beat the Rams. With some weird plays in that game, but that was a toss-up 50-50 game anyway. It played out just the way it should. In the AFC, nobody
I
saw
picked
New England.
Seattle. I knew they was going to win.
Okay, there you go then. All right. Well, we'll see what happens as the things matriculate on a little further. But in the AFC, Denver's looking good. I'm a little surprised at how well they're playing. But we'll see what Jacksonville made of this Sunday too. If you think they got something, we'll find out real fast. They're on the road in Denver. And Buffalo, they showing a little heart, but New England still should win that division. So as a wild card, you got to play 3 road games. Everybody ain't built for that. So I'll reserve the thought of what I really think another week or so, if you don't mind.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
All right. Well, that
Yeah.
sounds good.
Yeah.
Brother Artie, do you want to chime in on what you think about maybe the Western Conference and who's going to be the last 2 teams?
I mean, AFC.
yeah,
Yeah,
I don't.
AFC.
No, I'll wait on that one.
Okay, now I'm gonna tell y'all when I
I'm
picked
not gonna
them,
put myself out there.
I went through and tried to figure out who's gonna play who and how they would end up. So that's how I came with Houston against Denver in the Western Conference Championship. Jeff, what do you say?
Right. I don't think Houston's gonna play Denver in the Western Conference Championship. That's the first thing. I'm gonna go with New England. I think it's gonna be New England and Denver. I really believe New England and Denver is gonna be in the AFC Championship game. I don't see Houston doing it. Houston's gonna be coming out of the wild card spot. Right now, Houston's sitting in the 7th spot. So
Yeah.
that means they're gonna have to play.
Well, first of all, Houston can win the division if some things go a certain way.
Yeah, they have a chance, but I'm just going by right now because we don't know if that's going to happen. I'm going by where they are right now. Based on where they are right now, they're sitting in the 7th seed, playing the 7th seed. We're going to have to play against the best team, except for the team that's got the bye. Denver right now will have the bye if the season ended today. So Houston will be opening up against New England in New England. I don't see them beat New England in New England. So I don't see Houston being.
I think
in
they
the
can
AFC
this year.
Championship
That's
game.
my opinion.
Yeah, and that
Yeah.
snow, I don't see Houston beating them in the snow in New England.
Yeah.
That's just me. But don't be
Yeah.
surprised about Buffalo now. Buffalo, sometimes Buffalo, just when you count them out, they'll do something like, wow, they won that game. I can't believe Buffalo won that game. They're a team. They kind of an enigma. Just when you think you count them out, they show up, and then just when
Yeah.
you think
I
they
agree
got it
with that.
going on, they take a step back. So, but I'm going to go with Denver and New England in the AFC Championship game.
Okay, what you say about the NFC?
NFC, basically, wow. Seattle's looking good, 12-3. I didn't think that they had 12-3 in them at the beginning of the season, not 12-3. So right now they're gonna end up with the bye. Right now, if the season ended today, they will end up with the bye. Right now they got a game and a half lead on Chicago right now, but right now they gonna end up with the bye. So right now I still don't think that they're good enough to win it. I really think the Rams right now, who's the fifth seed, and the San Francisco 49ers, who's the sixth seed, I think any one of those teams can beat Seattle on any given Sunday. So I think that the NFC is wide open. But if I was a betting man, I'm gonna go with Philadelphia, and I'm gonna go with the Rams in
All
the
right.
NFC.
Any other
Bold.
comments on the NFC, brothers?
Well, I want to make this one comment. I kind of understand what Brother Artie said. Right now we're looking at the tail end of the season. It's a different animal once you get into the playoffs. What we saw the other day with the Rams and Seattle probably isn't the real tail of the tape because you got a lot of teams that's trying to get ready for the playoffs, and a lot of these last games they're not going to really be playing starters. They're trying to get ready to get in this playoff game. And then I look at the Texans. I really love the Texans. They're young. They got the best defense in the league, and they're looking good right now. But when they jump in them playoffs, it's a different animal. A lot of these teams bring different teams when it comes to the playoff time. That's money making time. So when I would like to try to wait to this week and look and see who's going where, and like Phil say, traveling at these different places, like playing in Buffalo and playing in these different climates, man. It's not like playing in NRG,
Exactly.
playing in them elements, man. That's a whole different ball game right there when you're playing the playoffs. And I think the Texans are going to be traveling, if I'm not mistaken.
Exactly.
I don't think they're going to be playing any home games in the playoffs. So I could be wrong, but that's just my take.
The only way they can play a home game is if they overtake the Jags, who's leaked them by one game. They would have to get the win division because if they don't win the division, they're looking at the 7th or 6th seed.
Well, that
They'll
can
never have
happen.
home court
That
advantage.
can happen because Jacksonville can lose this weekend and Houston can win this weekend, which is likely, and they'll end up
never
with
know.
the same record.
Yeah,
So they could host a wild card game, maybe.
yeah.
It's going to come down to who has who has the tiebreaker. If they end up tied, who has the tiebreaker?
And I think Jacksonville has another hard game at the end of the year. Houston just has to play
Jacksonville has a game against Denver.
who?
Denver.
Yeah,
They play them this weekend. They play
Right.
them this weekend, but I'm talking about after that. They could end up tied at the end of this weekend.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, a lot can happen.
The key
But
matchup
I
this
believe
weekend.
that all teams have played in the players have played in the elements before, so we'll see what's going to happen. And on any given Sunday, as they say, that could be your Sunday that those actual plays happen, and you can get over the hump that week. It's happened many times in the past, so we'll see how it's going to go. It'll be interesting to look at down the line. Go ahead, Jeff.
Paul, the key matchups this weekend will be Tampa Bay going up against the Panthers. Those two teams are tied. For first place in the division, both sitting at 7-7. That's a huge matchup this weekend. The winner of that game, I think, will win the South, the NFC South. Then also you got the Jags versus Denver at Denver, and then you got Pittsburgh at the Lions. That's going to be a pivotal game because Pittsburgh is only one game up on Baltimore. So those are three huge key matchups this weekend.
I agree.
Chicago and Green Bay. That's even bigger than all of them because that's going to determine the division winner right there.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I don't think Green Bay can beat Chicago. Of course, I think Denver is going to
beat them last week before last. They play them in Chicago this time now. They just beat them 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And it's only a half a game that separates those two teams, a half a game.
And I think Tampa Bay is they beat down. They hurt, they beat down. Baker Mayfield has been beat around. I think Carolina's on the up and coming, so I believe that they are going to take that division. We'll see, though. We'll see. On any given Sunday is very interesting. Just Seattle last night came back from 30 to 14 to win that game. So it's very interesting. We'll see. Basketball is in the throes of competition now. We just had the NBA Cup, which New York won. I don't know what they have won had Wemby started and played most of the game. That's debatable. But Jeff, what do you say about the state of the NBA, and are the Knicks that strong?
You got to understand that cup, the NBA Cup championship, that's a completely different animal than the actual playoffs. The playoffs, you got best of 7. So generally in the playoffs, the best team is going to win because you got to beat the other team 4 times. Well, the NBA Cup championship, that's completely different format. That's a completely different format. So the Knicks beat the Magic, and then the Spurs beat the Thunder, which shocked everyone when the Spurs beat the Thunder 111 to 109 in the semifinals. And then the Knicks end up beating the Spurs in the finals. But that's a completely different animal there. That's like the NCAA's one game, like University of Houston versus NC State back in the day. There is no way if University of Houston would have played NC State in a best of 5 or a best of 7, there's no way NC State would have won that. But on a one game, anybody can win just one game. So that's a completely different situation.
Let me ask this question of everybody. Is anybody surprised about the Lakers and how well they're playing?
Yeah, I said that 2 weeks ago. Yeah, I am surprised.
Yeah, I am too.
Considering LeBron just recently got back. Yeah, I am surprised.
But LeBron is playing second fiddle on that team, and he seems like he's happy doing it.
Third fiddle.
Playing second fiddle, he hit 28 though to Luka's 45. So it looks like they have a very good cohesive unit that has to be you have to be concerned about. They have a great deal of talent. Go ahead, Jeff.
Austin Reeves is averaging 29 points a game. LeBron is playing third.
No.
Right now.
How many points you score does not dictate how you lead the team.
Right.
Ain't no way Austin Reeves leading a team more than LeBron James. He may score more, but LeBron is the undisputed leader on that team.
I ain't saying leader.
And me personally, I don't think Austin Reeves is going to start when it comes the biggest time, because I think that I see Marcus Smart has what he does for their team as far as overall game. Now, Austin Reeves may come in to score the points, but running that team, Marcus Smart, he has a definite, and he's always had that definite competitiveness. But we'll see. It's good to have both of those options. It's good to have both of those options. So we'll see. Any other surprises in the NBA? Are there any surprises you see in the NBA?
It's still early, man.
Biggest surprise for me.
Yeah.
The Rockets, look good, but they lost yesterday, up being 25 to a lesser team, and that is concerning. I might consider a trade. Now, the biggest thing is, how close is Fred VanVleet to being able to come back? And do I have confidence if he comes back? I believe half of the games that they lost, they would have won had Fred VanVleet been there. Jeff, what you think about that?
I don't think it's looking good for Fred VanVleet to come back, because Houston applied for what's called the disabled player exception, where they was able to receive a $12.5 million exception, where they can make some type of a deal and sign somebody at the $12.5 million exception, because of VanVleet is going to be out all season. If he does come back, it won't be until playoff time. And then when he come back, then if that is the case, how effective would he be? How healthy would he be? What type of mental would he have on that knee? So you have to be wondering how he's gonna fit in. Would he be cohesive with his teammates? Will the chemistry still be the same? That's a big if, whether or not he comes back or not. But I'm not even going to think about Freddie Fleet. The Rockets need to get Dorian Finney-Smith and Tara Eason back. Those two guys right there are huge. People don't realize how good Dorian Finney-Smith is. He will be huge on this team. He hasn't played at all this season. And then Tara Eason's been out for about over a month now. They need to get those two guys back. That will solidify their bench.
I'd trade both of those guys and another player to try to get LaMelo Ball, who's supposed to be disenchanted. So if I can pick him up, and I may give up 3 or 4 players to get a LaMelo Ball if that was possible. I mean, you pair LaMelo Ball with Amen Thompson and Durant, and you might have to give up Jabari, but I'd consider it, because from what I saw, you don't have a proper ball movement.
Right. They do have problems with a point guard, a true prototype point guard. They don't have that right now. And that is hurting them. Because what's happening is when the game is close toward the end, they're not executing the offense because they don't have a true point guard. So they have the ball in the wrong hands of the wrong players, and they're not executing. And as a result, you don't get the results you want.
Yeah, and it really shows in clutch moments. Anybody else got a conversation about the NBA, Brother Osby? What you say?
Well, I want to go back to I was talking about the Lakers. You look at LeBron James. LeBron James is he's a veteran player that he's willing to take that back seat. LeBron's over 40 years old. He's a leader. He knows what it takes to win championships. Right. So he knows how to be, if it takes being second or third fiddle or whatever he needs to do, mm-hmm. When he contributes, he's going to contribute. But at the same time, he's saving his body because, if they get a chance to make that championship run, like you say, we got the best 4 out of 7 games to be playing in the playoffs, so he could do his best damage, being a leader, which he is, and go into the playoff run. And next we look at the Rockets. I know you guys love the Rockets, but the Rockets have had every tools and opportunities in the past. They've had, let's go back. They had Scottie Pippen. I mean, they've had Charles Barkley.
Harden.
They've had James Harden. I mean, they've even had CP3. They've had some of the best legends in the game to come through here, but haven't done anything with them. I mean, if you get a whole 5 players, 5 superstars, you got to have guys that's going to work cohesively, that's going to work together as a unit, and I mean, you can take 2 guys and trade them for somebody else. You can get LaMelo Ball. You can even get, I heard tell about them trying to get my man from Giannis from Milwaukee. You can put all of them on the same team, but they still might not win a championship because they got to play together. Do you guys remember the time when the Lakers had all them superstars? They had Karl Malone, they had the Kobe Bryant, they had mm-hmm. Gary Payton, Shaq. They had all of them, Shaq. Mm-hmm. And they were supposed to win it all, because they had the dream team. But what happened?
Just got beat 4-0.
But you do have to understand, those guys were at the end of their careers. Payton and Karl Malone, that was Karl Malone's last season in the league. So I'm just saying, those guys
that Crosby just mentioned, they were at the end of their career too. They came
exactly. Yeah, but in the minds of people, he said, "Oh man, we got Charles Barkley. We got Scottie Pippen. And they already won. Scottie Pippen already won his championships with the Bulls. He's at the tail end of his career, but we as fans, we figured if we get them on the team, we're gonna win it all. Give me them young guns anytime, any day. Them young guns.
Like 36 years old when they got Pippen. He was 36. Those guys were
exactly.
Old.
Yeah. So
but Pippen still went on when he went to Portland.
Yeah, he did.
He was very competitive.
Yes, he was.
Got to
Portland, he was no longer a star. He wasn't a star.
But he was an integral part of that Portland team that almost beat the Lakers.
Mm-hmm. The reason why the Rockets didn't win when they had Pippen here for that 1 year is because you have to understand they had Olajuwon, who was toward the end of his career. They had Barkley, who was toward the end of his career. Now, Pippen was still okay, but the Rockets guards were rookies. Their starting guards were Michael Dickinson and what's his boy name? Katina Mobley. They were rookies. Those guys were rookies, man. So I'm just saying they were top heavy, but they had no experience in the backcourt. And it came back to bite them when they went up against the Lakers in the playoffs and they lost against Kobe and Shaq.
Yeah. So why go out and get expensive over the hill players to come on your team when you can save that money and you can develop your team? You know, I mean, oh yeah, we got Scottie Pippen. Oh, yeah, you could have brought Michael Jordan here. You know, you still would have a bunch of superstars trying to play with each other. You know, going against each other. Who's gonna be the man? Who's gonna, you know? So, I mean, that's to me that's been the Rockets' problem for a while. You know, so I mean, I think with this unit that they have now, you know, they have. I like this unit that they have right now with
Had
these younger
Dwight Howard
players.
running in here too.
Had Dwight Howard.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, the key is always chemistry, though. That's
Exactly.
bottom line. What you're saying
Exactly.
because you go back to that Detroit team that had chemistry. They had Chauncey Billups, they had Rip Hamilton,
And great coaching.
Rasheed Wallace, and
Exactly.
Ben Wallace, and they had
Larry
chemistry
Brown
together.
as the coach. That was a
Exactly.
great mix.
Yeah. I can do y'all one. I can do you one better. Let's look at the Celtics teams. You didn't like Larry Bird.
Yeah,
You didn't like Larry Bird, but look,
That's
they had
traditional
chemistry.
winning.
They had chemistry.
Larry
They had
Bird was a bad boy.
They
He was like
had
the best player in the
tradition.
league at the time. Next
Yeah.
to Jordan.
Yeah,
But
they
the
didn't
other
like
guys
him,
were not
but he would eat you
not
up.
shallow either. They were some good players. Kevin McHale, Robert Parrish, Dennis,
Yeah.
all of those guys.
DJ was the
Danny
glue.
Ainge.
Danny Ainge.
Very
They
good
had a lot of
Bill Walton. That was a good team. And they played as a team.
They played as a team.
Exactly.
Exactly.
And they
Exactly.
had Archibald on that team.
I think any team you can see that wins the championship, they have developed some chemistry. Look at OKC last year.
Yeah.
They developed some chemistry.
Mhm.
And
Look at them this
they're
year.
continuing that chemistry right now. So
Right.
any team that wins the championship has developed some chemistry,
Mhm.
at least for that year. When Milwaukee won it, they had good chemistry that year with Holiday and Giannis, but something happened afterwards that chemistry fell apart.
Hey, Carl, did any of you guys go ahead, Phil? You should say something?
I was just saying it's hard to sustain. You have to, constant winning, takes constant sacrifice.
It's hard. Yes,
and everybody
it's
wants
hard.
to get paid generally after that if you have the right contract situation.
There's
Are
no
any of you
loyalty
guys
anymore.
are any of you guys surprised that Indiana Pacers are sitting at 6-21? I mean, I know they lost that one guy, but 6-21. Are y'all surprised at that?
I'm not, because the two guys that they lost are Tyrese Hamilton, who's hurt, and Miles Turner, who was an integral part of their middle. So I'm not surprised at that.
Yeah, he's gone.
But I didn't think they'd be 6-21. Okay, let's move on. What about the Clippers in the West? Did anybody think that they would be sitting at 6-21?
I think they are basically overrated. If James Harden does not have a great game, they're very vulnerable, because Kawhi, you can't count on him. And no, I'm not surprised. But anytime any team can beat you, as Utah showed the Rockets, as New Orleans showed the Rockets, any team can beat you. So they're still dangerous. They can still beat you on a given Sunday or on a given game.
Good question. Milwaukee, the Bucks sitting at 11-17 right now. What do you guys think the chances are, the probability is that Giannis will be moved by the trade deadline?
Well, I'm going to say this. He is going to be moved, but there's a lot of other players that's going to get moved too. Like, I believe Zion's going to get traded. I think John Morant's going to get traded. And some surprises are going to get traded across the board. But I can see Giannis going to Dallas, and Dallas making a move because Dallas has underperformed, and Kyrie's going to get ready to come back. But Cooper's flag is really showing, and you pit Cooper flag with Giannis, get rid of Anthony Davis, maybe 3 or 4 more of those players, and I can see Dallas making that move.
Interesting.
What you say about that?
That's interesting. Wow. A healthy Kyrie with Giannis and Cooper Flag. That's a pretty good team. The question is, what are they giving up? The question is, what are they going to give up to get Giannis? They're going to have to give up more than Anthony Davis. What are they going to give up to get Giannis? That's going to be the question.
Anthony Davis, P.J. Washington, Klay Thompson, They're
Klay
gonna give up
Thompson?
quite a bit.
Hey, Thompson.
Excuse
Yeah,
me.
get rid of Clay.
I'm hearing
Well,
Clay may come to
Clay,
Houston.
you know, he's not where he was before, and he may not even be concerned about that now. Of course, I don't want to just say it, but Megan may have his mind thinking in a different direction.
I knew you was gonna say that. I knew you was going there. Making the,
Hey,
the
it happens.
stallion
It happens.
his
It's
girlfriend.
human. It's human.
Okay.
And he's already won 4 championships. He's not really trying to prove anything.
Stop, Carl. Stop.
How many of you guys are surprised that Cleveland is sitting at 15 and 13?
I think Cleveland is not that good. They were really not that good, and I think that's showing. Because, you know, the other teams have caught up with them. Detroit has surpassed them.
Detroit's the best
And
team
across
in
the
the East right
board-
now, period. Period. Nobody's going to
Who
give them
would've
at this point.
Who would have thought that 2 years ago? Because for about 4 or 5 years straight, they were horrible.
Well, when you draft in the top 2 or 3 every year for a number of years,
Every
and
year.
get a coach that stays for a few years, quite
Right.
naturally, you're going to get a better improvement on your investments of those players.
Exactly.
And that's what's happening now. Look at the roster. All those guys are pretty much homegrown draft picks.
Right. Top 5
They
picks.
playing, They playing
Right.
basketball.
Right.
And a coach that's there, they're not worried about whether he's going to get fired or not. He has some control. And now they're going to do better.
I'm surprised with Phoenix.
Detroit?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm surprised.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I'm not surprised about Detroit because you got JB Bickerstaff and you got those guys who have really grown. Kay Cunningham is an MVP candidate, as well as Osir and Tobias Harris. Hey, I'm not surprised about that.
That team, along with OKC, is set up for years to come. They are set up for years to come. But Phoenix surprises me too, considering Jalen Green's only played, 1 or 2 games, and they're sitting at 15 and 12. I'm surprised with Phoenix.
I think Dylan Brooks is showing his worth.
He is.
Dylan Brooks
He's
is showing his worth. He's a fighter, and he can change the culture of a team. As the Rockets coach said, hey, we owe a debt to Dylan Brooks and what he did here because he set a culture. He helped to set the culture, and I think if he was still here, I mean, you got to give and take because Kevin Durant does some good things, great things. His scoring is great. Dylan Brooks did some great things. I think they'd have a similar record if the switch had not been made. You know, I think they have a similar record because they're that good. I think across the board.
Hey, Osby, let me ask Osby because this is his first time being on the show, Mr. J.Y. Hey, Osby, with the Rockets, would you trade for Giannis?
I mean, who would you give up?
Okay, let's say you got to give up Reed Shepherd, you're giving up Jabari Smith, and you're giving up Fred VanVleet's contract. You got to put his contract in there. He's make $25 million a year, so you got to put his contract in there to kind of get the salaries to match. Would you do that?
I don't know. You're giving up a lot. You you put Giannis in the mix. What is your lineup looking like? I know you got you got. Hey, what's your lineup looking like?
I'll tell you what your lineup look like. Your front line would be Giannis at power forward with Kevin Durant the small forward. You have Şengün at center, and then you have Amen Thompson at point guard with Josh Okogie at the other guard. That's your starting 5.
Okay, you got 2 superstars.
Yeah.
All right, lineup like that. So, man, that's a lot to give up. I mean, like I said, it's a give and take. Right now at this almost the mid-season, almost. How money wise, I don't know. I don't know if I would do it, but it looks good on paper.
Okay.
I don't know. I still would think I'd take LaMelo Ball because I think my front line is very good, and they just need a guard to be able to really guide them to what they need to become. And LaMelo Ball working with Amen Thompson, and you keep Kevin Durant and Jabari Smith, I think, that would be unstoppable to a certain extent.
Yeah,
okay.
do you really need
is
another?
That realistic, though? I mean, to be able to
What?
keep all of that and get LaMelo Ball, what you giving up then if you're gonna keep
Still
all
I
of
would
that?
give up
OKC.
Tyree,
Still wouldn't beat
Reed Shepard.
OKC. None of that.
Oh,
I mean, I give up whatever I could as score to what they would take for him. But if I had
Nah, I
to
ain't
go
gonna do that.
Jabari, I might consider that.
I ain't giving up the
Like,
farm for LaMelo Ball.
do
He
you?
has not
Yeah.
affected winning. That guy has not affected winning. Not on the floor. He has not affected winning. So now I wouldn't
All
give all
right.
that for LaMelo Ball. Right.
After that last game, I'd consider what I need to do, though. That's number one, because I didn't like that. If I'm the coach, general manager, I did not like that. Somebody got to pay some kind of price because I didn't like that. I'm not going for that. That's not acceptable. If I'm the owner, I'm upset. I'm upset.
So the question being, does the Rockets really need another big man? That's my question. You need a big man, or do you need a guard? Do you need ball handlers and shooters, or do you need another big man?
They need a floor general. They don't have a floor general. They need a floor general. So Durant will take some of that pressure off Durant. That's why he gets a lot of turnovers, because you're trying to utilize him in a fashion where he's not
Mhm.
comfortable with, because you don't have a true playmaker. They need a
Mhm.
playmaker. Now the question is, can you get a playmaker? Is a playmaker going to be on the market? Can you get a playmaker, and then how much does it cost you? How much is it going to cost?
Yeah. So do you consider Giannis a playmaker?
No. They need a guard. That's what I say. They need a
I
guard,
really need a guard.
a heady point guard better, more than they need
Right.
Giannis. Right.
Yeah.
Right. But if there is that one on the market that they can get,
She was
Well, that's
almost
debatable.
it is debatable. I think CP3 was almost up there available for a little while.
yeah,
You know.
he's still going to be available. I
Yeah.
see him
So
being
would you?
traded within the
Yeah.
next couple of weeks. I think he's going to be moved. The question is
So
where. I'm
would
also
it?
hearing Houston. Go ahead, Osby.
I was just asking, would it be worth to pick him back up?
I was just about to say that Houston, I'm
Mhm.
hearing, has some interest. That
Yes.
remember, he was actually, I had heard he was going to sign with OKC, but then the Clippers pulled it back, and they trying to see what they can get via trade. So
Mhm.
that's where we are now. They're trying to see who can give them the most for CP3. Now, the most
Right.
I'm willing to give up is maybe a conditional second round pick. I'm not giving them anything more than that. But so it's gonna come down to what they're requesting, what their asking price is. But Phil, let me ask Phil. Phil, are you there? Phil, would you sign Chris Paul at this time? Would you not sign him, but would you
I
trade
would
for
bring
Chris
him in
Paul?
and talk to him and see where his head at, what he feel like. He's definitely an asset no matter who signs him, because he's not going to be somebody you don't use. He's limited to what he can do right about now, but you also got to realize he's a definite leader. He can help your team do a lot of things. He's seen everything it
Exactly.
is. He would definitely
Yes.
help Houston. I can know that if they were to sign him, wouldn't be a crime. But I wouldn't go out my way to sign him. No.
Yeah.
But if he wanted to be here and everything works at a reasonable rate, we would sit down and talk about it. He's definitely an asset, not a liability.
You need that leader. You need
Yeah,
that
he
floor
can do it.
general. You need somebody that's going to be somebody them young players can look up to. That's been there. That's been in the fire. So I mean, I would
Let me
go
tell you.
somebody like him.
Let me tell you what happened now. The reason why they was cutting him or getting rid of him is because what I'm hearing is that he's very, very vocal. He's very vocal in the locker room. He holds everyone accountable, including the coaching staff. And the coaching staff was like, wait a minute, dude, you ain't gonna come in here. You're not the coach of the team.
Well,
And so they
Tyronn-
kept knocking heads. Him and Tyronn Lue, who's the coach,
Yeah, well,
they kept knocking heads because he's trying to get the players to play defense, to show some urgency, and they're not doing that.
and what's wrong
And he
with
was
that?
knocking heads with those guys,
Yeah,
huh?
but what's wrong with that?
Nothing.
Okay,
But
that's what I'm saying.
you got some
It's a
guys stuck in
Right.
their
management
way.
situation. It's not
Yeah.
anything to do with his playing ability, anything to do with his personality. He's telling facts. That
Exactly.
shows
Sorry
you
about your feelings.
just how bad things are in LA land, in Clippers land. And he helped put that team back on the map when they were nothing. So they should have showed him a little more respect, in my opinion. And at the same time, whatever that is between him and Tyronn Lue, totally unprofessional to some degree on both parts, not just CP3. He's the one made to look bad. But guess what? Look at that record. He ain't the reason that record looked that way. And winning and losing goes to the coach's corner.
Now,
Real
didn't
quick
Luke play
question, guys. We're on the Clippers. We're still on the Clippers. From what I'm hearing, I'm just telling you what I'm hearing. See, guys call and talk to me and tell me things. What I'm hearing, James Harden could be in play. Would you, if you're Houston,
No,
do you go after Hart? No,
No,
no.
no.
no. We been
Everybody
there,
says
done
no.
that.
Paul, you say
Been
no as
there,
well.
done that. Nope.
I
I say
mean,
no, 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 no,
No.
no.
I would say no because what are they expecting me to give up for him? And I'm not willing to give up anything really significant to get him. So it would be no in that context. Now, if he just wants to come over here and we ain't got to give nothing up, of course I take it.
Well, he
You
doesn't
got
show
to
up in
give
the
up.
playoffs.
Yeah, you got to give up 7. Right now, the
So I
guy's averaging
wouldn't,
27 a
be
game.
trying to get him. I think the best thing for the Rockets would be to yell at them and get them to understand you can't do that no more. And if that happens again, somebody's going to be sitting down on the bench, and I'll be starting Jay Sean Tate and some more players. But if you got that kind of effort that happens, I don't care who you are, Kevin Durant, you'll be sitting on the bench. And you can't have that kind of effort that you allow a team like that to come back from 25. So right now, that's the best approach until we can figure something else out, or if that continues. But I don't think it's going to continue. I think they have a better pedigree than that, and you won't see that type of effort anymore, and you won't see that happen. I think that'll light a fire in them, and I'm looking for better from the Rockets for at least the next 10 games.
I really believe that when they get back Dorian Finney-Smith, ever get Dorian Finney-Smith to hit the flow and get back Tara Eason, I really believe that's going to solidify that second unit because now you have Reed Shepherd and Aaron Holiday in the backcourt, and then you have Tara Eason and Dorian Finney-Smith and Big Steven Adams. That's your second unit. That would give them a solid second unit. Right now, that second unit gets outscored by most teams' second unit almost every night. They're getting outscored. They need more balance.
I do know Tari Eason missing. They've missed him a great deal because he was averaging double figures and leading in steals and so forth. So that really did have an effect. We are toward the end of our program, and I want to just chime in on the WNBA possibly coming to Houston. Have you all heard the reports that the Rockets are in negotiation with the Connecticut Sun? They've been in negotiation, and the Connecticut Sun are, of course, up for sale. And the Rockets, Tillman Fertitta is looking to purchase them, bringing them to Houston, and of course, maybe restarting the Houston Comets. Do we think that's going to happen?
I think so. They've increased their offer. They have increased their offer just recently. They increased their offer. I'm hearing the offer is well over $300 million. And right now, it's looking good. But Boston was also in the mix. Boston, they wanted to relocate that team to Boston. But I'm hearing that they would rather have that team come to Houston than to go to Boston.
Better market. Right,
a better market. But now, so if it happens, it won't happen in time for the 2026 season. It will be in time for the 2027 season. So just letting you know, it'll be in time for the 2027 season.
Well, I mean, that's a good thing. And the girls who won the first 4 championships, they could have a chance to have their banners up on the rafters again. And because right now they're not in the rafters anywhere. So that would be a great thing. And we can look back upon the legacy of Cynthia Cooper, Tina Thompson, and Cheryl Swoops. So and that's a part of the legacy of the WNBA. And speaking of the WNBA, what have we heard, Jeff, about the negotiation? I did hear that they have approved the possibility of striking the WNBA Players Association. They've approved that possibility. So if they don't get their way, they've approved to strike. However, I don't think that's a good move. I think the 300% increase that they are offering is pretty good. But who am I to say? We talking about $500,000 as opposed to several million. And they saying not getting several million is not acceptable. But we'll see. Across the board, a lot of things are happening in the WNBA. And also, they are up for the U.S. Olympic team, and supposedly Adrian Thompson and some of the other veterans are not there, and they, starting with Angel Reese, Caitlin Collins, who are actually playing on the same team in warmups. But what about the state of the WNBA? Brother Osby, you have a comment on that?
Well, it's unfortunate that a lot of these girls can't get what they're asking for because, they have families. They have needs that they have met, and they have to try to make comparable salaries. I'm looking at some of these girls making $50,000-$60,000 a year, and it's pretty tough, and they have to go play overseas and do all these things to try to make ends meet. They're actually making more money overseas than they are here, So I believe whatever it's baby steps, whatever they could get, would be a whole lot better than what they're doing right now, because I really enjoy watching the WNBA, honestly, And this past couple of years, it really brought ratings up with Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark and these girls coming in, the girl up in Dallas, So I think with with the TV and with all the money that the market is bringing right now with these girls coming in, I think they deserve a little bit more. And I really hope they get what they want. But at this time, whatever they could get would be a whole lot better than what they've had in the past.
All right, Brother Artie Mitchell, what do you say on that?
Yeah. I see it going north. I look at Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark like Magic and Bird when they came into the league, and it's just have done so much good work for them to go forward to move north with it. So I see it coming. I mean, they got it on fire, man. They got everybody watching it.
Yeah. And the thing about it is, you're right, Artie, and I hate to cut you off, but like I say, that money is actually coming from marketing, the commercials that they do, the things that they sell, and it's not actually to playing on the floor. It's just the things that they're doing off the floor. No, Angel Reese is into everything, and she's making millions off the floor than she is playing, So as she's acting, she's modeling, she's advertising a lot of things, So her money is coming off the court, So that's very unfortunate. A lot of these girls, like her, could just walk and just never play basketball again and just do whatever they've been doing off the court.
And you can do the OnlyFans thing and make millions off of that.
Well, now we don't want to do that, man.
We won't do that.
Now, her mother looked nice. Her mother looked real nice. Angela's mother. That's I don't want. She's a little too old, but she looked nice. Angela looked nice too, but we need her playing basketball where she can take this league to the next level, man. I'm just so excited about when I watch her, man, play. I'm like, wow, man, it just kind of reminds me of the excitement when Magic and Bird came into the league, man. That's my take on this.
Yeah, and you got some girls that's coming up like Flo Janae, from
LSU,
Flo Janae, girls like that. They're gonna put in some work
Juju sitting
too.
out right now, but she coming too. Trust me, Juju is gonna be
Juju. Yeah, that's why she's sitting out right now. She's
getting ready. The knee gave out on in the tournament last year, but like I say, the rehabbing is slow. But
well, she's actually playing for USA right now.
Trust me, she's ready.
In the tryouts and the workouts for the USA.
It'll take a while to return from ACL. It ain't just what it looked like, It's just take a little while.
Okay. My comment on that. Go ahead, Jeff. My fault. Go ahead.
Before we go off the air, let's just briefly talk about NCAA football. All right, here we are. We got Indiana, who beat Ohio State last weekend. Was that 2 weeks ago? And now they sitting at the number one spot. They were number 2, and Ohio State was number 1. So they flip-flopped. So now Indiana is number 1 and sitting at 13-0. So now we're starting this weekend. Number 12, the actual championship, the tournament is starting this weekend. The number 12, James Madison, goes up against number 5, Oregon. That's tomorrow. Okay, that's tomorrow. Then you got number 9, Alabama, going up against number 8, Oklahoma. That's tonight. That's right now. Mm-hmm. That's going on right now. Alabama, number 9 versus number 8, Oklahoma. Then we have Tulane versus Ole Miss. That's tomorrow. Okay. Then we also have tomorrow. We have Miami Hurricanes versus Texas A&M. So that's this weekend. So we about to start the college playoff format. So we just have to mention that. And then did you hear about what Notre Dame did? Notre Dame was ranked number 11. They were actually ranked 10, and then it got split down to one spot to 11. They thought they should have been in this format.
They should have.
They took 12 teams, and they
Right.
didn't get picked. So they decided they don't even want to go to a bowl game. They so upset. They don't even want to go to a bowl game at all now.
But they're
They so upset
independent
over this.
team. They're one of the most prominent college university programs in the country. They got cachet like that. So
Exactly.
I don't blame them.
Yeah.
They bring the money.
Yeah.
They bring the money.
They're the following. They're the draw.
Yeah. So they upset. Do you guys think do you think, guys, that they really are they justified in being as upset as they are? Are they justified?
Yeah. Why
Yeah,
wouldn't
definitely
they
they justified. Wouldn't you?
be? I put it like this. Tell me a team you 100% sure would beat them heads up in the tournament that's playing that they wouldn't be at least competitive with. That they gifted the group of 5 teams like Tulane, James Madison. They gifted them a shot.
Sure did,
I'm
yeah.
okay with that.
Well, I
But
know
I'm
that
still
young
saying-
black
Great
coaches has really he's elevated. I mean, he's elevated with them.
They should have
And-
been in the playoffs. This is the bottom line.
I
Right.
agree.
And,
I agree
and
too.
he's also a potential NFL coach one day because he's elevated in that fashion. A quick aside: the coach at the University of Michigan, who really,
My goodness.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
Not another one
I
of
mean,
those.
we got to mention that. I mean, but I understand
agree.
Here we
and
go.
he has an affair that destroys his whole life and future.
Goodness.
I mean, there's nothing really else to say about that.
right.
You know, to allow yourself to get caught in that situation. Now,
Lead us not. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom. These guys,
Well, I
they
mean,
fall into
the
that
Rockets coach got involved,
Yeah.
but of course he was not married with kids. Now he had a girlfriend.
But he was involved
But-
heavily with a prominent female. Still,
Yeah, mom. Yeah.
So it has some similar, but I mean, history has shown you really got to watch yourself in these situations because, of course, the lady's gonna come at you if you have that kind of power and stuff. But is it worth it? Even the risk, hands off, stay away. I can't understand it. He's the head coach of the University of Michigan, and he gets taken down in that context and loses all credibility and respect.
And
So-
left 12 million on the table.
Left 12 million on the table. I believe they gonna come with contracts now to spelling that out loud and clear to
Oh,
these
yeah.
guys
Yeah.
because they didn't took a lot. They took a hit. The
Mhm.
university took a hit. College football taking a hit. So I think this is going to be settled loud and clear now. And
yeah,
it's
I mean,
unfortunate.
You looking at a
And I'm not
prominent
sure they're
program.
not going to get there. If there was 12 million out there, they're going to find a way to make sure they don't give it to him.
Oh
They're
yeah,
not gonna
oh
give
yeah.
it to
Oh,
him.
he's
No,
not
they're not
giving
gonna give it to him.
They're
We
not
ain't
gonna
talking about
give it
him
to
getting no money.
That's
No,
what I'm
no,
saying.
he-
Left it,
no.
it's left it there. Not
Yeah,
getting
he
that.
just left it there. Yes,
Yeah.
Shannon Sharp left $100 million. He lost his $100 million contract, $100 million, and then had to get that girl $23 million. It's $123 million.
How much sense did that make?
And she looked like Wally Cleaver from Leaving the Beaver. Like, dude,
Across
really?
the board, we have always seen
I thought he
these
was gonna say lumpy.
possibilities, these situations that our brothers have gotten
She wasn't
into
that bad.
that don't make no sense. So, I mean, it should be a lesson for history, but it keeps happening.
It keeps
happening. So
Right.
we'll see who gonna be the next downfall in this kind of situation. We hope it doesn't happen, but
He made
Well, I think they're gonna put it in coaches' clinics, man. I mean, it's gonna be in seminars, man.
Yeah.
I don't
It's
think.
been
I
happening
mean,
since the beginning of
leave
the
that.
time. It's not gonna stop no time soon. You just have to be patient and diligent at your job and be cautious of the things that are, befalling you, because it's there. It's not going anywhere. It's not like you don't know that. He knew that, and he's probably been doing it a long time. And just this time, he lost control.
Hey, let me tell y'all something. As a former coach myself, school teacher, during the summer, you have trainings, and a lot of these trainings includes this. This is for everybody, every coach.
Yeah.
They let you
Like
know.
you don't know, yeah.
They let you know what inappropriate relationships, lawsuits can happen when you say certain things, do certain things,
Right.
And one of my principals used to say, you look at her, then you look at your check. You compare the two. You look at her and you look at your check. Which one is more valuable to you?
Thank you.
What holds more weight?
Yeah.
You have to make that decision. And he's been
Yeah.
told, he's been through all that. He just didn't think he thought it was Teflon. He didn't think he could be touched. But
They got him.
somebody's gonna tell.
When she put it on him. I mean, sometimes it's hard it's just hard to say no when a woman is all over you like that. And you're lonely, you're working long hours. That happens,
But
man.
that wasn't the
Those
first
guys
time,
are just
Jeff.
human.
That wasn't the
No.
first time, and it was gonna
That's
be the last.
no.
And so
No.
he knew what he was up against. That was
Yeah.
not some incident. That was something that was avoidable, but it happened.
Yeah.
And you can't put that horse back in the barn once he's out.
No, right.
Over with.
All right, guys. We have enjoyed talking about sports. Our last points. Anybody got a last sports point that they would like to make? Jeff.
I want to know who you guys think are winning NCAA the tournament, the football tournament. Who y'all think gonna win? Who y'all got?
Indiana.
Oh, you going Indiana?
That's a
Okay.
solid
Ooh, that would be
Real
nice.
good,
I
Indiana.
said 4 weeks ago they were going to beat Ohio State, and they did. It was close.
Okay.
But I felt that at this point, that was a new team that's been coming. They won a lot last year. They got blew out by Notre Dame in the first round of the playoffs last year, but they were definitely not a team that didn't have seniors. They got a lot of seniors, and so they got a good coach. I mean, they just paid him a lot of money to stay. So they're gonna be around for a little while. But let's give some thought to Indiana. They not number one by accident.
Yeah. Okay, Osby, who you got? Who you got winning?
I'm leaning towards Georgia.
I was gonna say Georgia. I should have went first.
Leaning towards Georgia, man.
Yeah, I was gonna say Georgia.
Yes. Georgia showed their mettle. I mean, they're tough, man. I'm leaning toward them.
I like Georgia as well.
Mm-hmm.
What about you, Artie? Who you got,
I'll
Artie?
tell you what, man, I'm gonna go against the grain all the way on this one here. I'm going with Ole Miss, man. They got something.
Ole Miss. Whoa.
But without Lane.
I like that.
Yeah.
Definitely
Lane Kiffin has stayed for sure. For sure, they had a better chance of Lane Kiffin has stayed.
Who you got, Cole? Your last one. Who you got?
Yeah.
I really have no idea.
Okay.
To be honest, all right. I have no idea on college football, but Texas Tech or Texas A&M, I don't know.
Okay. All right.
They're there at least.
Yeah.
And they'll be playing Miami. And they'll play Miami tomorrow. And the winner goes up against Ohio State. And that's be on the New Year's Eve.
All right.
So this will all be settled before our next show. So we had to talk about this.
I understand. The last aside, I want to just mention that Shanir Sanders is out there. He's dealing with a lot of politics, a lot of naysayers. And of course, he got beat 30-3 by Chicago. So he's taking his hard licks. But I think he's going to be all right.
I do too.
Me too.
Either it's going to be in Cleveland or it's going to be somewhere else. And he's going to get another opportunity. If the guy at Arizona can last that many years as a good quarterback, and he's starting now, Jacoby Brissett in Arizona, Shanir Sanders is going to make a career also. And I think he's going to get a chance one of these days to show his mettle. So on that note, that's my last note. This has been a great episode. I appreciate Brother Artie Mitchell, Brother Osby Mitchell, and the crew. We'll be back January 2nd. day after New Year's. And if it's sports, we are going to be talking about it here on Sports Take. All right. Thank you, everybody. Any last word?
Hey, thanks for being patient with me, guys.
All right.
Thank you.
Well,
Thank you.
Yeah, both
We'll
of
see
them.
you
Mitchell
next
guys.
episode.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much.
The Mitchell boys, y'all come back and be with us again soon.
Yes, sir.
All
Yes,
right.
sir.
All right,
Brothers.
Mr.
Thank you,
Mitchell.
guys.
All right.